What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have another divorce story. Make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get to it.
What went down and why it kind of sucked, but in retrospect was probably one of the better things that's ever happened to me in my life. So the year was about 2011. At that point, we got married in '04, so about 7 years, and we decided to move to Florida.
Yes, it's the same story over and over and over again. Once you get close to that 8-year mark, the average marriage lasts about 8 to 12 years around there. 90% of divorces are filed by women. Around when you start getting close to that eight year mark, start counting your days, man. Start counting your days because everything you've ever worked for is about to go down the drain. Your whole life is about to be flipped upside down. She's gonna steal your kids, put you on child support. Just assume the worst. Okay. I know that there are divorces out there where they agree, hey, this isn't working out. All right, you keep this, I keep that. No need to get lawyers and stuff involved. And I bet that they're friends and they get along and, they go each to separately live their lives. And, it's kind of like, it didn't work out, but whatever. Yeah, I'm sure there's some divorces out there that's how it happens. For a lot of guys, that's not what happens. For a lot of guys, you're about to get cleaned out, okay? Your savings, and a lot of guys think, oh well, you do this, you do that, you put money. No, the divorce industry is worth billions of dollars. You think that they're gonna leave money on the table? You think that they're gonna let you hide money? You think they're gonna let you hide assets and hide things? No. So same story over and over again around that 8 to 12 year mark. It's downhill from there. And I wish it wasn't true. I wish people could be married and happily ever after and all that stuff, but that's not the world we're living in.
Kids were, I think, 4 and 5, and we had kicked around this idea of moving to Florida before we had our first child, and we kind of put it on hold when we found out we were pregnant, and then we brought it back again a few years later. And now, don't get me wrong, at the time, looking back, hindsight's always 2020. The relationship wasn't perfect. We were having some issues, but it wasn't bad. I thought it was going, okay. Every relationship has its issues and its ups and downs, and I figured we'd work through it. So we had this idea of let's move back down to Florida, let's do this over again. So we pack everybody up, get them down there. We rent a nice house. I, rented a really nice house with a pool and everything, backyard with a swing set in it for the kids. And, the ex had a job down there. Her job actually transferred her, which was really good because we were in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, Cape Coral area. And it's rough. It's a rough part of town for trying to find jobs. This is shortly after the bubble pop. So a lot of people were, bankrupt and foreclosed. And it was a rough situation at the time. But we were doing okay. And I sold cars up north, so I thought I could just go down south and sell cars again. And it was a totally different world than what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't anywhere near my ideal idea of selling cars. So I stepped away from that profession and decided to look for something different while I was down there. And I think that at this point, she was a little unhappy with her job. I don't think it was going the way that she thought it would go. And I think that I didn't see it all. We were very sidetracked with moving and everything, but it was all a little stressed out. And she came to me one day and just said, I want a divorce. I could tell things were going bad.
Yeah, same story over and over and over again. Because the thing is that men, we love order. We are comfortable with order. We are comfortable with things being predictable. We are comfortable with, I wake up at this time, then I do this, then I go to the gym, then I eat this, then, organization. Men, we are comfortable with organization, routines. Okay, women, they could deal with that for a while. Okay? They could deal with that for a while, but then no excitement, no emotional stimulation, a nuke button, blow up your life. And it's the same story over and over again. The guy thinks everything's okay. I love you. You love me. We're not two kids, lusting after each other like in the beginning, but we're married. We're making it work. I don't have any plans to escape or anything like that. And the whole relationship, I'm telling you, 99% of women, 99% of them, they have one foot in the door and one foot out. Okay. Meanwhile, you're fully invested. You think everything's fine, and one day she just blindsides you and hits you with, "She's not happy anymore." Yada yada yada. It's the same story over and over and over again. And you got these hippies out there. 99% of women, show me a study. Show me a source. Like, I'm speaking from the heart here. You know, um, this is just me, my experiences, covering other people's experiences. If you want to go see a data analytical channel, show me the sources, go do that. Okay. But the reality is that most women, they become unhappy and they want to nuke your life. Now, I'm sure women have their complaints about men. Usually, when a man is unhappy in a marriage, he'll go out, have a little excitement on the side, and then come back and love his wife, have no plans of divorcing her or anything like that. Women aren't really like that. They can't do that. They more like kind of like want to get rid of you, secure resources, then get another guy.
Up to that point, and I figured that in order for her to come to me and say that, yeah, she's been thinking about this for a while. This wasn't just like a, hey, today I thought of this and I want a divorce. This has been on her mind for a little bit.
Yes, that is true. Whenever a woman pulls the plug, let's just say you're in a 6 year relationship, you're in a 1 year relationship, you're in whatever relationship. When she breaks up with you, right? So let's just say it was 3 years. Okay, you got a 3 year relationship. She broke up with you in her mind. She broke up with you like 6 months to a year ago. She's just been waiting for the right moment to jump ship. She's been waiting for the right moment to monkey branch, the right moment to leapfrog. Okay, make sure everything's in order, and then she pulls the plug. So anytime a woman breaks up with you, she broke up with you in her mind 6 months ago. And for 6 months or a year, she's been pretending, she's been mingling with you in the bedroom, pretending, saying, "I love you," pretending, and the whole time she's planning her escape, she's planning her exit. This is all of them. I'm telling you, this is all of them. All of them will do this to you.
So I said, that's fine. From this moment forward, every decision we make is for the kids. We make the decisions based on what's good for the kids. And she was cool with that, and we went our own ways. We had to stay in the house together for about 4 or 5 months because the rent on it was more than either one of us could afford on our own, and we were both just kind of getting situated. Her job she was hating, and I was just starting to get into a job of my own. So she ended up switching jobs, and it was right about the time, shortly before I moved out, she switched.
Can you imagine that? Someone who wants to divorce you and clean out your bank account, you still have to live with them for like 4 more months and, get along with them and see their face every day. Oh my goodness. Guys, I have a decent amount of stuff. I have a decent amount of money. I have a decent amount of accomplishments. I'm not going to toot my own horn. Um, I'm not going to, sound like some douchebag, pretentious guy, but I've done pretty okay for myself. And obviously, I still got goals ahead and stuff like that. I'm still young. I still got a lot of time. But I think I'm doing better than the average guy. Okay, I'll just say that. And to have someone just come into your life and pretend to love you, and then the whole time their plan is to steal it all from you. I don't have much. You know, I don't have a little bit either, but the amount that I do have, if someone were to take that, it'd be devastating. And then I have to see their face every day, and pretend like she's about to clean me out, and I got to sit here and pretend, dude. A lot of us say like, "Oh, in that situation I do this, in that situation I do that." You never know, man. You never know. That's why it's better to just never even put yourself in that predicament. You want to be married, you want to have a traditional marriage, go be Amish, go move to a third world somewhere. In the modern world, do not do that. Okay? Because it's not just, okay, we don't get along and let's go about our lives. No, it's, okay, I don't like you anymore and all your stuff is mine. That's what it is.
Jobs, and she got a job with a bank. And banking jobs are horrible. I don't know how, if any of you guys are bankers, that's fine, but I don't know how you do it. She instantly started dating her boss. So that became a relationship right away. He was definitely, she's probably about a 7.
Oh my god, this video is a gold mine. This video is a gold mine. The work husband. The work husband. Okay, usually your replacement is at her freaking job. Some guy she's seeing every day, her gym, her job, someone she's in close contact with every day, having conversations with, seeing, she's familiar with him. Um, yeah, man, the work husband. That's why marriages today just don't work in this modern era where women are independent and they go to some career and they get to, you know, uh, 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 interact with other men. These men, you know, you don't know what their agenda is. They're trying to get laid just like every other guy, right? So the monkey branch right at her job. Right at her job is the monkey branch. This is, oh my god, this video is a gold mine. It's like this divorce story. Okay, this is like every guy's divorce story. Didn't see it coming. Around the 8 to 12 year mark, monkey branched with a work husband or some guy at her job. Okay. Uh it's the same story over and over and over again. How is it that hundreds of thousands, probably millions of men at this point from different parts in the areas in the country, from different western countries, different states, cities, towns, have the same freaking story? It's the woman who files, it's around the 8 to 12 year mark, it's with the work husband, and it's because she's not happy anymore, and it's out of nowhere.
7.5. If you just looked at her and just seen her looks wise, especially back then, 7.5. He's probably about a 5.2. Give him that point two. So clearly a difference in range right there, right? Not it's one of those couples where you look at him and go, we all know why she's with him. But he was a good dude. He took care of the kids. He had season passes to Disney and things like that. So he did love them. He loved those kids and he loved her. And she,
Oh my god, she got herself a stepdaddy sucker boy who has money. Once again, same story over and over again. In their youth, they want good-looking chads. When they're older, a financial stable beta. Okay, beta male. It's the same story over and over again. And, I'm not saying that this guy's a Chad, but he, seems like a pretty stand up cool guy. But he says that the boss that she monkey branched to, it's even worse looking than him. Because, I'm not going to rag on the guy. I'm on his team, but he is kind of overweight and, got this disheveled beard looking thing going on. But so if the guy she monkey branched to is even more unattractive than him, it's the same story over and over again. Get with a financially stable beta male, and this guy is going around playing stepdaddy sucker boy. Oh gosh, what a desperate loot! What a desperate L! What a desperate L!
used him for all he's worth, I guess. But at the time, I didn't realize that. I thought everything was going pretty good, and we were there. We were doing the split parenting thing in town for probably 2.5, 3 years, and from there, I got to a point where I thought, I despised Florida. It wasn't a bad life looking back at it. I had a lot of fun, and it was a relatively easy way of life, and I met some really good people, but I despised it because that was always her idea. It was always her plan to move to Florida, and I was kind of game for it. But when the divorce came along and everything, I started to despise being there. So when she was doing pretty good with this dude, and they moved in together, and they had a nice little house and all that stuff.
Oh my goodness. So that was kind of like a beta move on his part. But, the thing is that, okay, so you're married, right? She she keeps coming up. This is what it's like to be married. It's her constantly giving you demands and giving you orders and making you fetch stuff for her. And what? How about we do this? How about we do that? How about we do this? How about we do that? I want to do this. I want to do that. And you're just, over time, you will become this dancing monkey trying to keep her happy. So once again, he's trying to keep her happy. Let's move, let's go somewhere, blah 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 blah. And he, to try to keep his wife happy, is like, oh, I don't really want to do that. I'm fine here where I am, but okay, let's do it. And that's what every married guy becomes eventually. Eventually, that will be you, constantly, trying to placate to her demands. Okay, we don't take vacations enough. Why do the neighbors have a pool and we don't? This that. My sister, her husband got her a new G wagon. This, and like comparing you to other guys. Why don't we do this? Let's do that. Let's go to this place, that place. We don't go out enough. You will become that. If you get married, you will eventually become a dancing monkey trying to meet her demands. Trying to meet her demands. I'm a dancing monkey. I'm a dancing monkey. She's not happy. She's not happy. She's not happy. And eventually, you do all that stuff. You dance like a little monkey, and then she still divorces you and takes all your stuff.
I decided to move back to Pittsburgh. It was a hard decision. I'm a very hardworking father with my children, and it was hard to feel like I was leaving them. But I knew that one day, I just had this feeling that one day it would all make sense. And I moved back up north, and the kids loved it. I mean, they loved coming back up here for summer break and Christmas break and just seeing their family and everything. Because Florida, they were kind of on an island. She had a few friends, but that was really it, and they just kind of did their own little thing. So it was tough. It was tough living up here and not having my kids with me all the time. And there was a lot of, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but there were days I thought about them and I really missed them. And I just always thought, one of these days, one of these days. So a little over a year ago, so let's see, that would have been 2017, end of 2017, I get a phone call from my ex. Now, at this point, she had the guy that she was living with, her and him split ways. He found out she was cheating on him. Shocker. And he finally, until she pretty much took.
So she got a beta male provider, and then she ended up cheating on him because this is just how they are. They want excitement. So she's once again, no offense to this guy, but he's kind of a little bit of beta. So she gets with another beta that it's something new, but still not as exciting. Then she gets with like another guy, leaves that beta. Oh my goodness, dude. This is what they do. This is what they do. And you think that women, like, you know what? It didn't work out, but you know what? Now I'm going to focus on myself and take care of my kids. And I'm just going to, enjoy my life. And no, they're going to go out there and they want excitement. And what's exciting to women? Dating, hooking up, getting attention, feeling desired, getting what is it, validation, all that stuff. That's what they prioritize. Okay, you think like, no, you know what, I'm divorced and it didn't work out, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on my kids and do better. No, you think you're gonna do that? No, she wants to go out there, get some hot dogs.
Every penny of this guy's money that she was living with, he was, at the end, he was going through his 401k, he was unemployed, he lost his job. I mean, he was just depressed. He was a beta. So he was just depressed beyond all hell that he got taken advantage of like that. So he finally got up to the point where he kicked her out, and she went and got her own place, which I had to help out with. I had to help out with putting money down, and she didn't have enough to pay for deposits for electricity and stuff like that. So I help her out. We get her this place, and I just know anytime she's on her own, it doesn't last very long. So at this point, I was like, okay, I'm going to start keeping an eye on the situation down there, and I'm going to start knowing what's going on. The kids came back up for the summer, and I didn't really want to send them back down because I just felt like something wasn't right. But legally, I kind of had to, so I did. And so that would have been what, June, July, August, yeah, when I sent them back to school. And by October, I get a phone call from my ex-wife, and she says, I'm thinking about moving back to Pittsburgh. Music to my ears. But I didn't let her know that. I had to play the card right, because all I wanted to do, my whole goal was get them up here, get them back up to Pittsburgh, back under my roof, and then the rest will, short-term loss, yeah, how's that go? Yeah, short-term loss, long-term gain. So it was going to be, those couple years I spent up here by myself were hard, but it's going to all pay off now. So I tell her, don't worry about it, get up here, I'll have a place for the kids, I'll have rooms for them, all that stuff, you can go stay with your mom, whatever it takes. I get a phone call a couple days later, and it gets pushed up by like 2 or 3 weeks closer. I'm like, whoa, 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 like you're really pushing. It was supposed to be like the beginning of November they were going to move up. It turns out she got served her 10-day eviction notice. So she had 10 days to get out or she was going to be kicked out. Beautiful, right? So I tell her, I'm like, well,
Dude, a lot of times women think that they're gonna like divorce you and go on to live this fantastic life because being married is so repetitive and so monotonous every day the same thing, and I want to go out and live this extravagant exotic life. And most of them don't go on to have a great fantastic life. They go on, okay, to get a lot of hot dog, a lot of hot dog out there, a lot of hot dog, and then eventually just getting hot dog, all right, getting weenie is not fulfilling. It's not fun anymore. And they're total losers, man. They're total losers. And I know stories, and I've also seen stories on TikTok, on YouTube, of guys that are no longer with their baby mamas, and they're paying child support, stuff like that. And on top of that, she's constantly asking the guy for money. I need help, this, that. Dude, they don't go on to like go be winners. All right, they go on to wreck their lives. That's usually what they go on to do. So the worst thing that this guy can do is jump right back into another marriage. Nah, dude, don't do that. But as you can see, she's a wreck, man. She cleaned out the beta male that she got with. She's getting money from this guy, and then on top of getting money from him, he's helping her extra because he feels bad for the kids. And this is the problems and the drama that you are bringing into your life getting married in the West. This is why I believe in a nice fun little date, a nice fun little fling. All right, be 50% bad boy, 50% gentleman, mingle with her in the bedroom, and then let it fizzle out, and no cohabitation, no marriage, no kids, especially not in any Western country. If you want, dude, go move to the middle of nowhere somewhere and have a family there, but no, you can't, you just can't do it today. It's a bad, bad, bad deal.
Look, here's the deal. Just get back up here, whatever it takes. I'll get you guys all figured out. Let's just do this, right? So she comes back up. She tries to stay with her mom for like a couple days, and her mom's the reason why she is who she is. Her mom basically put her up in a hotel with the kids and their 2 cats because she didn't want them in the house. This is the mom that hasn't barely seen my children, her grandchildren, in probably about 7 years. They have an opportunity to stay with her for 1 weekend, and she puts them up in a hotel. Beautiful. So I realized that her staying with her mother was going to be a hot mess, and it was just going to lead to nothing but turmoil. And I lived relatively on the bus line, so she could easily get a bus at least to downtown Pittsburgh every day. I lived right by Park and Ride. So I made a decision that I regret, but I let her move in with me. So I told her, I said, look, just come move in with me. You can crash here. We'll figure it out for 6 months till you get your feet on the ground, and we'll get you back into life. You can get a job at the downtown. She didn't have a car. Her car was repoed. She didn't have nothing. She had zero to her name. So of course I come in and rescue today again, which I should have never have done.
Oh my goodness, this woman is a mess, dude. Car repossessed. Okay. She has a bad relationship with her mother. She's getting evicted in Florida. All right, and then look at the type of life that his kids have to go through. This is what your kids will go through living with a Western woman. The kids, naturally, kids, they want to be with their mommy, right? Also, the courts, they favor having the kids with their mommy. And the woman, unless she is like a serial murderer, a serial axe murderer, the courts, they're on her side, and she's getting the kids. Plus, naturally, the children want to be with their mommy. And look at the type of life that they're going through. This is what will happen to your children dealing with the modern woman who only wants fun and excitement and emotional stimulation and lavish lifestyle and vacations and doesn't care about blood, soil, family, legacy. They don't care about any of that. Nationalism. They don't care about any of that. All right, following a religion like Catholicism to the way you're supposed to do it. They don't care about any of that. What they care, the type of spirituality they care about is like, these spiritual stones and, spiritual glass ball and stuff like that. You know, the modern woman wants excitement, fun, lavishness, attention, validation. All right. And they do not care about their children. Look how the children are living. Okay, she's getting evicted, car repossessed. I'm pretty sure she has no money in her account. She's dating multiple guys. This is what your kids will go through if you marry or impregnate or cohabitate with the modern woman, man.
But my whole goal was to get my children back here, right? The easier I can make her feel comfortable with coming back up here, and it was going to be simple. It was, like I said, it was a little bit of a loss at the time, but it worked out in the end. So it lasted a lot longer than I wanted it to. It was probably a little over a year, like 14 months. She ended up living here when she moved back, and I was just enabling her. And we weren't even having sex, nothing. I mean, it was just solely. It wasn't a bad arrangement. I mean, she cooked, she cleaned, which was something she didn't do when we were married, so she must have picked that up along the way. And she helped out with the kids, so I was able to go run around and do a little bit of stuff still. And my business requires me to run around a lot and whatnot. So uh, it worked out okay. But I got to a point where I said, "You got to go." Right? She was just getting on my nerves.
Dude, can you imagine this? Imagine going through this. Okay, you're married with a woman, right? She divorces you. She goes on with her life to go be a HOE. Okay, she puts your children through hell, right? By getting ragdolled here, there, here, there. Okay, and then she comes back and lives with you for free, and you have to like look at her stupid face every day. And then the thing is that he keeps helping her, and he's right, he is enabling her, but he keeps helping her because of the children, right? And this is what awaits you if you decide to get married and get was because the thing is, a lot of guys, they're in like a 1 year, 2 year relationship. She's amazing. The relationship is great. It's still new. There's still a lot of love and all that googly woogly stuff. All right, mushy, lovey dovey stuff. And you think that that's gonna be her forever? No, the longer you're with her, the lazier she gets, the more manipulative she gets, and you will see that sweet little angel that she was when you first met her, that's she's just not the same person. Okay, you marry her at some specific age. 10 years later, she's not the same person, man. Uh, that's just how it is. And poor children, man, poor children. And then she moves back and has to live. He has to see her stupid face for a year and a half, living off of him after she goes on to go be a HOE.
She was trying to change. She turned into a victim in Florida. I blame it on her going to school. She went back to like nursing school or something like that at one of the universities down there, and she was never the same afterwards. She used to be really strong, very strong-minded, and very independent thinking, and she turned into a sheep. So, and I started to notice that in the way she would talk to me, and she has that very downward talk, like you think you are so special, like stuff like that. She'd say, I don't know. She like tried.
That condescending tone. I am going to be paying all the bills around here, planning dates, okay, buying you gifts all the time, from time to time and all that stuff. And I'm going to be this traditional male, and I hear that freaking condescending tone. I hate it. I could peep it from a mile away, but that tone where they talk to you like this, like, women today have the audacity that we have, like comfort, and we have laws, and we have all this stuff. But, like, dude, I'm not gonna say anything, too cartoonish. But, dude, that condescending tone, man, that thing drives me mad. It's like, put some baby powder in your hand, and pat, leave the freaking handprint on her face. Like, dude, oh my God. So she divorces you, puts your kids through hell. You're paying child support, all that stuff, flips your life upside down, gets with her boss, and then cleans that guy out, goes on to go be with Chads, and then it doesn't work out with the Chads. She gets smashed and dashed dozens of times. Okay, then she gets evicted, gets her car repossessed. She's broke as a joke. Then she comes back, lives with you. All right, you gotta see her stupid face every day after she went out to go be a 304. And then she's talking to you like this with this condescending tone in your own house. Bruh, I do not condone domestic violence. I do not advocate. This is why, if you don't cohabitate, you don't marry, and you don't impregnate any of them, you will never be in that situation. However, I don't condone or advocate for domestic violence, but all I'm going to say is I understand why sometimes it happens.
Talk down to me and try to beat me down. And I finally went off on her one day, and I just said, listen, I saved you. Okay, this is my way of paying you back. I feel bad that I left you in Florida for a little while there, and I was sending money and whatnot, but it wasn't always 100% what I could. It was always what I could send, but it wasn't 100% what I wanted to send because my job was up and down. I was doing commission sales at the time, and it was rough. So I felt bad. So I felt like, look, this was my penance. I paid off by giving you a place to stay for free, giving you a place to be without having to. I didn't charge her a dime to live. She had to pay for groceries. That was it. And she just squandered the time away. I mean, here we are 14 months later at the time, and she didn't have any money saved up. She still didn't have a car. She still didn't have anything put together to get a house. There was nothing. So finally one day I just snapped and I said, look, you got to go. I said, you got to go stay with your mom. You got to go figure out your life. You got to do something, but you can't be here. I'm just enabling you to keep being a bum. I mean, she was working part-time, and she got a job that required her to drive around. She didn't even have a car. So I had to pick her up and drop her off half the times, and it just got to be to a point where I said, you're taking advantage of this situation. Like there's no more. I don't feel bad anymore, right? I paid you back. I gave you an opportunity to live here and to you could go work 2-3 jobs if you needed to and put as much money away as you wanted to, and you chose to just throw it all away. So baby bird had to leave the nest. That was in January of this year, right after the holidays. I said, you got to go. Funny part about it is she starts applying for full-time jobs. Within like 2 days, she lands a very good career job, a job that she could be at for the rest of her life with a good local company that she landed a good job. She'll never thank me for that, but if I didn't boot her out the house, it would have never happened. So it's always been a little bit of a turmoil with her, and I'm finally at a point now where we don't really speak much. So it's just kind of, she's living with her mom and her mom's boyfriend, and today she couldn't find a car. She was trying to rent a car so that she could take the kids out for the day and do something. So that's whenever I decided that it was my time to do MGTOW. I mean, I looked it up. I found out a bunch of information from it, and I just said, you know what? This sounds like the life for me. I am so done with women, and I'm so done with women just taking advantage of men and beating them down and trying to turn them into something that they're not. I'm just not for that. But that was kind of a condensed version, I guess, of all the events. But hopefully, where are we at? Like 12, 13 minutes? That's not too bad. I can do a longer one. We can get into a little bit more detail, some of the stuff that went down. But my whole experience with it is I just don't trust women anymore. My trust factor is so low that I almost find it impossible to even try to date a woman. I don't believe anything that they say to me anymore. I just don't believe it. And when you deal with somebody like that, and you see this in multiple people's lives, and it's funny because, like I said, I was the first one in my friend circle to get married, the first one to have kids, first one to get divorced. Now everybody's going through divorces, and they're all just hitting that stage now where they hate each other because they don't marry for love. I didn't marry for love. I thought I married for love, but she definitely didn't marry for love. And looking back, I was young, dumb, but not this time. This time around, I'm taking care of me and I'm taking care of these kids. So I love you guys. Please keep subscribing. Please keep liking these videos. I can't believe the amount of growth that I've already had.
Wow, he went off at the end. That was magical. That was magical, man. He went off in the end. Yeah, man. M to the G to the O W. Right. I think that word is, the AI picks up that word, so gotta be careful with it. That acronym, the AI picks up that acronym. But wow, he went off in the end. That was amazing. And yeah, I've shared my story a few times, but my story is basically I grew up Catholic, grew up thinking that women were sugar and spice and everything nice, and I went into the dating market, around 19, 20, 21 years old, with the mindset of getting married and doing the right thing, and then I found out that that's not happening. Okay, they're on dating apps. They're on sugar daddy apps. They're serial dating. They're flaking on dates. They're using guys for money, using guys. And then that's when I found um, MGTO. All right. And then, the last one. And then I said, yep, this is me. No cohabitation, no marriage, no kids. Mingle with them. Don't be a douchebag and all that stuff. 50% gentleman, 50% bad boy. Don't prioritize it. Uh, don't go around simping. And yeah, I'm like, damn, this is for me, man. And I've been that ever since. Ever since like 23 years old, for like 7 years now. I've been MGTO to the W for 7 years, right? And I've had the same formula for 7 years where I mingle with one, I'm with her for a little while, no cohabitation, no marriage, no kids, no simping, and then I'm celibate for a while. Then I find another one, I'm with her for a while, no cohabitation, no marriage, no kids, no simping, and being 50% gentleman, 50% bad boy, and then go back to being celibate. And I've just been doing that for 7 years now. Um, but yeah, guys, make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This was a great video full of gems. And yeah, love you guys. See you on the next one.